For decades, the name Presley was believed to define the bloodline of the most legendary entertainer in history. Elvis Presley's identity seemed settled, simple, iconic, unquestioned. Then, in 2004, DNA testing quietly rewrote the story. That year, researchers discovered that Elvis's paternal DNA did not match the Presley family at all. Instead, his Y DNA aligned perfectly with the Wallace family. Not partially, not loosely, exactly. And that revelation was only the beginning. Genetic evidence would go on to confirm Cherokee, Jewish, Scottish, and German ancestry, exposing a lineage far more complex than the official version ever admitted. The question was no longer who Elvis was, but how so much of his history stayed buried for so long. After Elvis's death in 1977, preserved bed sheets were collected and later analyzed by DNA consultants under strict forensic protocols. Scientists extracted and amplified the Y DNA marker, which passes unchanged from father to son. The results pointed to haplogroup I2-F244, a rare subclade most commonly found in Scottish populations. To verify the finding, the profile was compared against international Y-DNA databases, examining both frequency and surname associations. Among thousands of entries, not a single Presley match appeared. Instead, the strongest and most frequent matches belonged to men with the Wallace surname, concentrated in Itawamba County, Mississippi. This was no statistical fluke. The Wallace match was exact and repeated across multiple databases. Forensic safeguards ruled out contamination, and while full chain of custody details were never publicly released, the handling followed accepted standards for historical samples. The conclusion was unavoidable. Elvis Presley's direct paternal line was Wallace, not Presley. So how did the Presley name survive? The answer leads back to Rosella Presley, born in 1861 in Fulton, Mississippi. By 1896, she was raising children alone, including a son named Jesse. Public records never identified Jesse's father, but local accounts and later DNA evidence point to John Wallace. By tradition, the Wallace name should have passed down, but Rosella made a different choice. Every one of her children carried her surname, Presley. In the rural South, this was rare and quietly defiant. She never married, she never named the fathers, and in doing so, she created a new family line that would one day reshape American music. The DNA result, haplogroup I2-F244, wasn't just scientific data. It reflected migration from Scotland to the American South, settling precisely where Rosella raised her family. Genetics and geography aligned perfectly. The Presley name wasn't inherited, it was chosen. And the maternal story revealed even more. When researchers examined mitochondrial DNA, which passes from mother to child unchanged, they identified haplogroup B, a marker found almost exclusively among Native American populations. This wasn't speculation. In 2007, an independent test sponsored by Lisa Marie Presley confirmed strong autosomal matches to American Indian ancestry. Historical records support it. Nancy J. Burdine, born around 1826, is documented as at least half Cherokee. Census records from 1850 list her husband, Abner Tackett, as Indian. Even further back, oral histories name Mourning White Dove, born around 1800, described as a full-blooded Cherokee woman. This ancestry predates formal tribal enrollment, but the genetic and documentary evidence forms a consistent pattern. Native American heritage runs directly through Elvis's maternal line. Then there's another symbol, quiet, powerful, and long hidden. In 1959, Elvis commissioned a headstone for his mother, Gladys. It bore a symbol almost unheard of in Mississippi cemeteries at the time, the Star of David. After 1977, the stone was placed in Graceland's meditation garden and removed from public view for decades. In 2018, archivists returned it to display, citing long-standing family tradition tracing Jewish ancestry through Gladys's maternal line. Under Jewish law, identity passes through the mother, making the claim significant even without complete documentation. Elvis's connection to this heritage wasn't symbolic alone. He wore a chai necklace, the Hebrew symbol for life, during concerts, including the night he died. He served as a Shabbos goy for a Memphis rabbi, donated to Jewish institutions, and openly spoke about feeling different, as if he carried a hidden legacy. A 1998 Wall Street Journal article documented these details long before DNA evidence brought clarity. The ancestry doesn't stop there. Records trace part of the family line to Johannes Breuerler, born in 1669 in Germany's Palatinate region. In 1710, he emigrated to New York as part of a major German migration to colonial America. Over generations, that line moved south, merging into the Presley family tree. Modern genetic studies confirm strong German, Scottish, Irish, French, and Native American markers, forming a true genetic mosaic. Even physical traits, dark hair and eyes, reflect centuries of migration and intermarriage. Yet secrecy surrounded much of this history. Dunan Presley, an early ancestor, fathered children with multiple women, deserted the Confederate Army twice, and left families fractured. In such an environment, Rosella's silence wasn't just personal, it was protective. Later, Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, would carefully shape public narratives, deflecting anything that threatened the image. Even Elvis's appearance became a subject of controversy. In the 1950s, magazines openly asked, "Is Elvis white?" A question rooted in rigid racial boundaries and visible ambiguity. Today, DNA answers what headlines never could. Elvis Presley was not defined by a single origin, a single surname, or a single story. His legacy sits at the crossroads of hidden histories, personal choices, and generations of movement across continents. And as DNA continues to rewrite the past, one truth becomes clear. Behind every legend is a story far richer than the myth. So, what does your ancestry reveal?